see is what you get. He's gonna hold me accountable. And, you know, as he holds me accountable, he's gonna give me a lot of responsibilities as well, which I'm excited for and I look forward to. And you know, I know he's gonna hold me to a really high standard. And if I slip up or anything, I know he's gonna be right there to make sure I get right back home.
How much you got to embrace that responsibility, like getting chances to be that youth count?
I love it. I can't even lie to you. I love it. Like I said, me, Joe, Troy, we sat down and, you know, we had some man-to-man conversations. You know, they embraced me. And I just told them, I'm not gonna let y'all down. You know, if they believe in me that much, it helped a lot. It helped a lot that they really believed in me. And like I said, man-to-man conversations, they're gonna hold me accountable. But with that accountability, they're giving me a lot of responsibilities. And I'm here for it.
Because I know you like a...
Oh, whew. I hit the road. Now, great afternoon to y'all. They all had success. They all had failures. One thing we know for sure. Oh, I was speaking about Joe Dumars, Joey D. Now, when Joe Dumars came into prominence, a lot of people said, well, we need to find out what's going on here. That was the key. When all of this was happening, there are a lot of changes that was happening to the format, to the distribution of what the ecosystem of what the Pelicans was going to look like. Last season was their worst season in 20 years. The team's always injured, and they couldn't account on guys. Then the morale was like, almost like the attitude of some guys just didn't care, mixed in with guys that wanted to win. And that's a toxic environment. If you see that, you know you gotta stamp that out immediately, because you're not gonna want that on your team. Why would you? That's only gonna bring down your team, bring down your morale, bring down everything that you believed in as a team. Now, here's the new information that I've learned from talking to some people that I know. Now, what I learned is that the team is going to be built around. They was going to build the team around Zion Williamson. Zion is the star of the team, and all the decisions that be made is going to be built around him. Not to say the Pelicans didn't do this before, but they kind of didn't believe in him. They gave him a max contract, yeah, with incentives, because they didn't really believe in him, believed that he was going to be in shape, believed that he was going to be mature. Now, you seen Jeff T go off and just tear the man down. And was like, that was the dumbest press conference ever. Well, Jeff T probably never had to worry about weight issues, things of that matter. Jeff Teague has never had the pressure of being the number one pick in the draft, the star player. He's never had to worry about those things. So nobody was going to worry about Jeff Teague. Zion Williamson was the face of a franchise. And being that young, playing basketball is what they would normally do to stay in shape. They didn't normally have a workout regimen, gym work, eating, dietary eating system. So he was an 18, 19-year-old kid coming in the league, and he was big, but he was big and fast. So that's going to tear on your body once you get to the NBA and you have all this access to money, and you need to have the right people around you. And I'm not saying what Teague is saying is wrong, but you don't know what that person's been going through. As you could see through the decisions he was making with these IG models and things of that nature, he was moving kind of sloppy out here. So if you're going to move that sloppy, there's going to be consequences that follow that you ain't going to be able to get out of. You're going to have to live with those consequences forever. Now, when you saw all the other people in abundance, Jeff T, if you see somebody who's getting in shape, they're in shape now, you don't sit there and dog them out. Didn't Luka just lose weight? I didn't see nobody else going, about time, you fat bastard. The time to say that to Zion is when Zion's on the couch eating Wendy's. The time to say that is when you see Zion posing in the Wendy's drive-thru. That's when you say, what the F is you doing? Not when he in shape, been working, feeling good, hitting the gym every day. That's when you step in and go, hey, I see you. That's what's up. Yep. People forgot that they called him Fat Luka, all this stuff. And now that he in shape, nobody talking about him when he used to be fat. They was, oh man, Luka finna tear it up now. He in shape. But with Zion, about time, you fat bastard. It's double standard, man. It's crazy. Now, what's the difference between his weight loss and Luka's weight loss? Zion had a lot more weight to lose. He's a much bigger guy than Luka. And it would be harder for Zion. Now, Joe Dumars spent the whole summer talking to Zion Williamson because his weight loss and his weight issue wasn't a condition of physically on his body. It was mentally. Mentally, he had to get stronger. He has to believe. And when you got yourself surrounded by a bunch of yes men, see, Jeff Teague don't have to worry about yes men. Nobody gonna have a problem telling your ass no. Who are you? You Jeff Teague. Jeff Teague, I don't like this Gatorade. I don't like this color. Get another one. Maybe then go buy one, ma. Nobody care what you don't like. You Jeff Teague. So you don't have these pressures. You don't have these responsibilities. That's like a guy saying he made it to the NBA. It's the same as the upper echelon of the NBA. Like, hey, I'm in the league just like them. No, you're the 12th man on the bench. He's a 12-time All-Star. The Ozempic Olympic is still going on, baby. They got a brand new driller. Oh yeah, that's helping them cut that weight fast. They get on that new Ozempic, and then working out with it, then you start to look like that. You ain't got no problems. So here's where the dynamics change and everything start to go in different directions. Now that you know what's on the table, right? Here's the other part. Joe Dumars has promised Zion Williamson that this Pelican team is his. He's the star, and they're going to build around him. And not only are they going to build around him, they're going to get him players to complement his game. That's very important. Get players, not by name, that complement his game. So other players that come on this team are going to know it's Zion's team. You're in year 7. You're finna lead. This is you now. Zion Williamson has never played a bad game against LeBron. I don't know what you're talking about. He never has. He's either played better or up to par with LeBron James every time they faced off against each other. That's facts. You can go look that up. You know, I watched every one of those games, so I'll be telling you the truth. My approach, well, my approach is different. He hasn't, but like he says, when he walks in the gym, he feel good. When he leave, he feel good. It's a difference, because all of that is a mental thing. You don't know what people are going through mentally, and it drags on them and pulls them down, and they feel like they can't do something, you know? So when you see that happen to somebody, you go, oh man, I feel bad for them, because you don't want that reality for them. You want them to be better. You want them to strive to be better, to achieve more. You don't want somebody to be in a state where they always depressed. They can't get things done, can't think right. You got family members wanting money. You got all these Instagram models wanting money. Got kids now. You a dad. And you ain't even around that much to be a father, you know, so it's rough. That could make people gain weight, make it real hard for you to be in the gym, and they keep blowing you up. Then here come the team saying, you got to do some PR work. It's a whole different reality. I know we sit there and say, hey, how you doing? I know we sit there and say on the average every day that this is what we're supposed to do and what we shouldn't be doing. But they don't take into reality that this isn't 2K. All right? Or you just throw them on the bench and their energy level jumps up. These guys get hurt. They got to carry that injury to the next game. Soreness, injuries. And Zion was feeling good last year until he pulled his hamstring and couldn't get back in the game. And he was once again playing himself back into shape. Now, he had lost some weight last season and thought that would be good enough. People still called him fat. Then during the season, he gained weight. So he started going games without even eating anything. He was like, I just had like one bag of chips. Really, and played a back-to-back off one bag of chips. He was like, I didn't have time to sit down and eat anything. And he's like, I thought I would lose weight. I didn't lose nothing. So, again, it's all about, you guessed it, it's all about scenario. Well, Zion Williamson had an elbow injury, shoulder injury, hamstring injury. You just didn't know about it. I know, you see somebody take a hard fall in one game and just think by the next game, they got personal trainers, they'll be all right. Pain is pain. Soreness is soreness. They'll give you some pills for it, and they'll work on it, but you still gonna be sore the next game. They ice it down so you don't really feel it, but it's still there. You know how many ex-NBA players now Look at their hands. Their fingers are like jagged edge. One finger going this way, the other finger going that way. This finger's on Pluto, the other one's on Mars. My hands start straightening out, but for a while, my hands was curved in. Like, see, like my pinky is? You know why that is? That's from always holding a cell phone. Holding a phone, my fingers used to curve like this. But now that I don't anymore, they naturally go back to their position. But my pinky still stays in that form. Normally people put a splint on to get them back straight. Well, yeah, they'll learn a lot about defense, but it's more than that with Joe. Joe knows how to draft people. He's calm. He's effective by being calm. There's too many people that yell, or they try to be assertive and don't really get a chance to know the person. You know, Griff, I don't even know if Griff played basketball. Joe Dumars is a finals MVP, NBA All-Star, should have been an NBA top 75. But Joe is always quiet. They named the award the Joe Dumars Award because Joe Dumars never got a technical foul playing in his old NBA career. And he played almost as many games as Dwayne Wade and played many seasons less. This guy had to guard Michael Jordan, Clyde Drexler. He had to guard Ron Harper's, all these athletic guards. And played, yeah, he's always on the all defensive team. Hall of Fame backcourt. So you got a Hall of Fame basketball player as your general manager who knows the game of basketball backwards and forwards. But most importantly, his biggest quality is he knows how to talk to you so that you feel heard, and they know that you're listening back. Zion didn't believe that the Pelicans believed in him, and it's true. They tried to trade Zion last year. All this Zion rumors of him being traded for Kawhi Leonard, don't even buy into that crap. Anybody saying that bullshit, don't even listen. They just trying to get clicks and views. Zion Williamson is not getting traded for Kawhi Leonard. He's never gotten a technical foul. Now Zeke gonna get a tech. Zeke gonna get thrown out. Zeke gonna do whatever. Zeke could punch somebody. Zeke played with a fire that was West Side Chicago. We wasn't gonna take any mess. So if a message had to be sent, it was gonna be sent in that format, in that way, so that everybody would know we mean business. Now, Well, they tell people to reach. Like, go on and reach high for your goals. Get up there, reach for the sky. You could be anything you want in this world if you just believe. When they come with that narrative, and they come in with that, it feels like they're trying to sell you a bill of goods. When you're like scratching your head, why are you trying to sell me this? It's like, I already got this. I don't need a bill of goods. Well, they're going to run the offense around Zion. So Zion will be bringing the ball up a lot more. To throw off some of the defenses. But what Joe Dumars wants to work on is Zion Williamson's right side. Here's the information y'all don't know. He told him your right side is weak. And defenders know it. And that's why they try to time you. Because they know you're not going to use your right side. You're always going to try to finish with your left. You can't favor your left like that in this league for too long. Smarter players and teams will hone in on you and defend you different. That's one thing different from LeBron than him. LeBron can go either way. And even though he's naturally left-handed, he plays with his offhand. He shoots with his offhand. That's why his shot looked like crap, because he's shooting with the hand that he doesn't write with or anything else. He's left-handed. Now, I got a friend that's like that. My friend is left-handed, and he shoots with his right, but he could shoot. So, but his left isn't garbage. He could do everything with his left. He could curl with it. Well, he used to. He can't do none of that shit now. But he used to. No, that's not what we mean by right side. Just because you might dunk with your right hand one time, that don't. What he means, the right side of his body's weak, means that he's comfortable going in one direction, not the other. And if he does go in that direction, they know you're going to go back left. Other players have suffered from this, and it led to them having a whole host of injuries. Victor, Office Depot. Most of these young players never got a chance. See? That's what they don't tell the world. Most of these young players don't get the opportunities. They don't get the wherewithal to come up with their own adaptation or creative spirits and all that crap. They don't do any of that. Not anymore. It's like this. You're either all the way in or you're all the way out. That's how they view you now. So I think long as he's mentally good, he's gonna be good. Well, everybody wants to go in directions that fit them. No. The free agent market, Joe Dumars will build a team. Might not be in the first year. It might be letting Zion get comfortable with the guys they already got and seeing what's out there before you start trading for just anybody with a name and putting them in a situation where they don't fit. A lot of people in Milwaukee was like, why did y'all tie up all that money into Dame Lillard? We should have just kept the guy we had and moved on. We gave up defense for offense. So everybody thought it was a big move and that this would help the team. They couldn't foresee the mental problems Dame Lillard was going to go through because of his personal life. His wife saying, I'm not moving. I don't want to go there. And now that the wife is saying she doesn't want to go there, I'm engulfed with a lot of more problems. Now that the wife, she has no plans of ever, right? The wife has no plans of ever going to even visit Milwaukee. The kids are not coming there. They're staying in Portland. They like it out there. They don't want to leave. So he's got to play in Milwaukee. So now he's living on his own. And the wife is like, well, we'll just get a divorce. So now this whole thing is dragging out. He's miserable. But he's in Milwaukee playing for y'all. He's mentally checked out. He's not the Dame Lillard that you guys knew. Because without this, all of the talents that he got, the will to play, he's playing for you because he has to. But mentally, he wasn't there. Dame was leaving because he was getting tired of people blaming him as the... There's only so much you can do. If you keep getting blamed for being the problem, pretty soon you're going to say, well, F it. If I'm the problem, I'm going to make this real simple for everybody. I'm getting the hell up out of here. You ain't gonna have to worry about me since I'm the problem. Let me solve that problem. I'm gone. Then you just got a guy in there that you wanted. They got Scoot. Now Scoot Henderson, who Teague just love to hate on. You got Scoot Henderson now. So now that you got Scoot Henderson, everybody has an opinion. They're an expert. They gonna tell you this don't work. Oh, that don't work. Why you with him for? That's stupid. That guy don't know what he's doing. That was done. Everybody's an expert. Look, Scoot is already out. He in the G League already. He came from the G League. They sent him there to do some developing, to be the type of player that fits into what they want. He's not there to be the superstar, finna dominate the league. Not everybody's that player. You have to find out what you're good at and how they can use you in the system. Scoot comes back, start fitting in perfectly to what they were running, because they didn't have an identity as to what they wanted to be on the team. Now, Dame Lillard's coming back. So now we got to see how that's going to work when Dame gets himself ready to come back. Kyrie Irving is already getting shots up, which is good, but he should slow down as well, because you don't want to push yourself to come back and then you get an injury on your other leg while you're training to come back, because your other leg had to overcompensate while the other leg was out. You saw that happen to Klay Thompson, who was really pushing himself because he wanted to get back as quick as possible. And then that happened to him. And then he ended up missing about 2 years before he's back on the court. Well, the Knicks are talking like losers. Like they telling them, don't nobody protect championship. We're not talking championship. We're just one game at a time. Loser talk. So if you have that kind of mentality of not having high expectations or suppressing your high expectations, I just don't see how that helps a team. We go into a tournament, I'll be like, yep, we going to the finals. I'll be, who we matched up with first? Them? No problem. Yeah, we gonna tear through this whole thing. By the time we get to them, they gonna probably make it to the finals. We'll probably be playing them. But never am I going in there. Let's see what happens in this game. And then we'll just see. It's never my mentality. If I'm on the court and I'm on that team, we're going to win. That's my mentality. The only way they could beat us was cheat us. The first year, they just robbed us. We blew this team out. I'll never forget that. It was the first to 16. They had like 3. We got 16. And then they said, here's what happened. 3-on-3 tournament. It's like 64 teams, literally. Just like the March Madness. All playing in one gym. So they got all of them split in there. Everybody playing on half courts. So everybody's playing, getting eliminated. Our team, our 3, was beating everybody. We never lost. So the one team we beat them with ease, right? Then the other team that had other players on it that we knew, they got eliminated. And it was like, the guys is like, hey man, we got eliminated. Can we run with y'all? I'm like we could just come in and sub for you guys if you want. We was like, all right, cool. Wasn't no rule against it. So we was like, okay, well, come on in. You can come on in and play just to get some reps if you want to, because y'all, hell, you had to drive about an hour just to get out there to play the game. Imagine if you drove out there a whole hour and got beat and had to go back home. That sucks. We drove out there, played, and we dominated. They go complain, like the white folk do. They go get the manager. Like, they just had too many players. We was already up. Like, we were up like 12 to 1. 12 to 1. Before we said, all right, well, we up 12-1. We ain't gonna lose this thing. Hey, y'all wanna come on in? I'm like, you know what? We could play the game again. This team can't beat us. And the guy said, well, you know, you're not supposed to have. I'm like, these guys, they didn't even score. They were just running around out there because they had drove all the way out here. They didn't do anything. They didn't have no effect on the game. Then the guy who was our supervisor, he was one of the people on the board. We like, Vince, say something. Vince, you on the board. Say something. I am. You guys will be okay. But I should have known. Vince is soft. About 400-pound black guy. Soft as pudding. Vince is. These are my guys. Aren't you sure? They're very good people. Well, I don't know. Rules is rules. And Gerald's a good guy. And, you know, I just don't. I think they were trying to be shady a little bit. So, you know, maybe next year. I'm like, maybe next year. You gonna tell us we out after we won the first 2 rounds and then we won the 3rd round? Now we out and we never lost. So, you know, I held that chip for a whole year till I came back. I was pissed for a whole year. I said, oh, I'll be ready next year. I'll be even better. And I was better. I was better and mad. I wanted the same team that we whooped on. They didn't even make it to us. Then it was way more teams this year, better teams. I was like, oh, then they had like multiple teams can go. I was like, okay, from the same area. When before you had to have one team represent. So I was like, all right, cool. Let's get it. Man, I just tore through them. And all I had to do, I had the 2 players I needed. I had 2 slashers to get to the basket. I had my height. I had Saeed. I had Mike. I'm like, boom, boom, zip. So all I had to do was be a point guard. But I could shoot. So if they try to think I'm just going to distribute all night, nah, I'm going to light it up. So I was like, I elected not to shoot as much. But when I do, I can light this whole damn court up, and you know it. So that's the threat. But I look at the disadvantages of their team, and we gonna exploit them. So that was, we did it. We got to the finals, and for some reason, we're in the final 4. They decide to come up with another new rule to screw us. We don't get a referee. It was like, oh yeah, well, the other refs went home because he had a thing with his kid. They didn't have a babysitter, so the ref had to leave. So now the other ref is down there, and the other refs, we had to let them go home already because we only needed so many refs. But when teams start getting eliminated, those guys went home. So I'm like, now you got one ref. It's just crazy. So now we get to the final 4, and we got no ref. You probably say, well, what's the problem with that? Very simple. If you go against a team that knows all they got to do is get the lead, all they got to do, they up by 1 goal, You know what they doing? Passing the ball around. Keep passing the ball. Keep passing the ball. Playing keep out to the time expire. Because it's not the first to 16. It's the first to 16 or if the clock run out. So they just played keep away with the ball. They never got to 16 points. They just let the time run out. And if you get up on them and they throw the ball and it's a turnover, foul. Foul. Oh my God, it was the worst way to get robbed out of something. I'm pissed about it now. All right. My housekeepers are done. Yeah, so it's not happy. Getting robbed like that was not ideal for me. I like everything to be done in a certain order. So I understand Zion's plight and Joe Dumars' plight. They're going to be thinking. It's like the Pat Bev conversation he was having with Trey Young. Like he told Trey, he's like, I don't know what it's like to be playing in June. I was in Kev Curry mode, exactly. And I turned into Kev Curry, it's over. You on the Patreon, you already know what it is. You heard my boy break it down. You was shooting threes. Back then, it was like Reggie Miller. You Reggie Miller. But now that's been totally, that's why when I watched the movie with, that new movie with Eddie Murphy. The one where he driving that armored truck and he hit the shot and he goes, and the guy was like, oh man, that was some Steph Curry stuff. And Eddie Murphy yelled out Reggie Miller. And the guy go, who? Man, they shot out of here like a bullet. Woo. But yeah, the house is nice and clean. Woo! Clean and shine. Clean and shine. Yeah. I can't go that way. Because it's too hot. Straight like that. Hold on. Hold that thought. Well, if if you think about Zion, then you're thinking about the guaranteed money he got and his extension deal. Jeff Teague believes he's doing it because it's a contract extension. Like, oh, it must be a contract year. So he getting in shape for the money. No, he's getting in shape because it's time. This is year 7. There's no time to waste. You don't have any more wiggle room. You either got to show up or they got to blow this thing up. Or Joe Dumars ain't finna play with you. You're going to be in and out. Quick, fast, in a hurry. Nobody got time to play with you. They need to know they can trust you, and they have to believe it. That's what Joe Dumars is. Joe Dumars has to believe in you. If he doesn't believe in you, it's over. He'll move you. You know, he's the former president of basketball operations and really still the president of basketball operations, to be honest. He's really doing a double duty right now. People have to question their own existence in the situation. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, well, people want to be intimidating. You got to know who you're intimidating. Intimidation is one part. Being skilled is another. I was wondering why all this activity was in here. I'm like, how's all this light in here? I forget they open up my house every time. We had a great live with Kwame Brown today. It was quite interesting. Y'all should check it out. Mm-hmm. Some may feel that way, but oh man, I know. Oh my God. Taylor Swift's new album. Well, it's gonna be a new breakup coming if they don't fix this problem. What do you think about? What do you think about? What do you think about Zion Williamson? Do you think he's gonna be a more improved player this year? What's your take on it? I think people have to make their own interpretations of what they think is going on versus what's actually going on. Because what's actually going on is a whole different experience than what you might think. Mm-mm, mm-mm. At the end of the day, people will see and understand exactly what it is and what's happening. That's the way I see it. Imagine you had somebody like, let's say somebody was your coach, right? And you want them to believe in you. And you was like, man, coach, if only my coach believed in me. If only my coach got behind me. If only my coach could see what I see. If I had a coach like this coach was right behind me like this and blah, blah, blah. See, when you start putting that into perspectives, he said, I saw the guy online, Unique Mecca. I was like, I bet Sino, what did he say? I bet Sino to tell me if the guy is legit. Wow, those guys is bigger than life. Little I know. It's everybody is subjected to the same type of criticism when it comes to who's protecting you. Do you think the Lakers are going to allow the media to bash Luka Doncic for being in shape? No. Do you think any of these teams are going to move in that fashion? No. And the reason they're not going to move in that fashion is because they got other things that's bigger on the table that they want to accomplish and move towards. He said destiny feeds. Hopefully he can keep his weight down. I hope he can keep his weight down too, because that's the only thing that was holding him back. No, he believes in Joe. See, Griff probably talked to him like, we believe you. He never felt it. You know, he's hearing reports. They trying to trade him behind his back, but telling him they got his back. He don't believe it. And why would you?
Excuse me, man, you know, a historian of the game, I guess, what, how much of the depth is knowing Joe Dumars his resume?
I've had some moments where I was, you know, I'd be sitting with him and I'm like, man, that's Joe Dumars. He was an NBA champion, finals MVP and stuff like that. I'm like, this dude was a part of Bad Boys, and I had to walk back in the conversation like, okay, like, let me see what he's saying. But it's dope because I know he sees the game in a way. And how I was trained in the game, like how I was trained was kind of their era of basketball, so I know we kind of see the game in similar ways a lot.
Zion, Joe said that he talked to you about the difference between talent and greatness. What does that mean
Talent is more of a natural thing. Like you can look at somebody and go, okay, they're really talented. Greatness is every day. Greatness is when you don't want to do it, when you want to do it. If you're facing crazy adversity, good, bad, no matter what's going on, greatness, you do it every day.
Yep.
You show up every day and you make it happen every day.
And see, that's the difference from Joe Dumars talking to him and Griff. Because Joe know what he's talking about. It's about that greatness. That's the part that all these guys are missing. And that's the mystery right there with LeBron. LeBron had natural God-given talent. He had speed and athleticism and could jump out of the gym. God-given talents. But what he lacked was greatness.
Zion, there's been a lot of changes in the organization since you got here, including that head coach the years. This is your 5th year now working with Willie. How big is that continuity and that familiarity with your head coach?
It helps. It definitely helps a lot. 5 years is a long time. Me and Coach Green, we've had a lot of great conversations. Me and him have definitely locked in on and off the court. He can talk to me. He can talk to me, I can talk to him. We have that relationship to where, if he sees something and maybe I see something else, that I can be vocal on it, and vice versa.
And you mentioned them giving you a lot of responsibilities, and that's something you want, or you kind of envision those responsibilities.
Whatever they needed to be, whatever the team needed to be, whatever my team needs, that's what I'll do.
Can you mentioned the importance of them believing in you? Could you reflect a little bit on what it is about the last 6 years that made you wonder or leave to hear that they believed in you?
The past is gonna stay in the past, and I'm only looking forward to the future. So I have to say on that.
You've had you played with some veterans and some really great players. I mean, Brandon Ingram's not here anymore. CJ was obviously, call it an adult in the room or super veteran, Mr. President, whatever. A guy who could
Early at one gas.
You know what I was saying? With those guys not here, you have these 2 new rookies and guys like Trey who are obviously coming along. Do you feel any pressure to be more of that vocal leader, to rally the troops when you guys are down, to not just do it with your ball, with your play, but also with on the sideline?
Not at all. I don't feel any pressure, to take on that role. And I have to thank the guys you named, Brandon Ingram, CJ McCollum, Larry Nance, and just other vets that I had as I've been on my NBA journey, and especially CJ. I got to give CJ a big shout on that. CJ really put me on game to a lot of things, watching how he carried himself, how he moved, when he spoke, and stuff like that. He really put me on game to a lot of things, so I feel like there's going to be no pressure on making that transition.
To that point, y'all have added some veterans this summer, like Poole, like Looney, who have championship experience. Like, how much do you feel like adding some of that veteran presence can help this team this year?
It helps a lot. I mean, those dudes won a championship. That's what we all strive for. So they not only won the championship, they went through the journey, went through the playoffs, they felt the energy and they lived it. So that type of experience, you just can't get anywhere.
Trey mentioned that a lot of rookies coming in, they're kind of quiet, they're kind of feeling things out before they are vocal. But he mentioned that with the 2 lottery picks, they aren't.
Oh yeah, I'm about to say, you ain't talking about Oreo.
What's your impression of them, either on or off the court so far?
Man, I like those dudes, man. They each got their own personality, and they're not quiet. They're vocal, but they're not an arrogant vocal. They want to learn, they want to work, and I can't wait for the world to really, be introduced to them. Like as a developer.
You mentioned the two guys that had played Golden State that won championships as far as their experience and maybe some of the intangibles. But on the court, what do you look forward to about playing with Jordan Poole and Conley?
I'll start with Loon. Iron Man kind of guy. How he gets rebounds is not just luck or something. Like you can tell he strategically plans everything out defensively and offensively, and he's one of those guys that I'm definitely gonna look to a lot whenever I'm looking for those small things to get the edge over somebody, especially with footwork. I think Poole kind of speaks for himself. Like, I think our chemistry, especially in transition, wanting to play fast, I think we're gonna have like a lot of exciting moments, and that's not even including Trey Murphy.
See, there's not a lot of flattering talk by experts, by people that watch how this team's been built by Joe and Troy over the summer. And for instance, Trey said that he's keeping a whole photo album dedicated to all the bad comments on his phone. So how are you viewing all that's being said about this team? How do you feel about the composition of this team?
I love the composition of this team. There was a time where I felt like Trey, where I kept tabs on him, kept notes on him. But nah, that's in the past for me. How I feel on it now, whatever you said at a certain time, when the time comes when we are in a certain position, you just gotta stay open. There's no coming over here, don't want validation. You don't even have to waste your time and say, oh, them guys really did it. I don't care. You just gotta stay open.
Well, that's a bad boy mentality, you know that, right? That's what we're talking about here.
It can be or not, don't really care. Just gotta stay over there.
Look at Zion. Stay over there. Stay on that side, baby. Don't come back. Stay over there. I don't want to see you back on this side. Stay over there. That's what I'm talking about. That's the Zion Williamson everybody want to hear. Play with a chip on yourself. Oh, you got Emmanuel Ocho. You got Emmanuel Ocho moving into that way. And they're trying to say, oh, Ozempic. But what about Luka? If he's on Ozempic, what is everybody else on? Oh, yeah, Master P was down there with him. Well, he believed in Zion, you know, and the thing is, they make fun about Master P. He ain't made an album in 20 years and still rich.
Thank you for supporting our
Bro, I appreciate y'all letting me work out here.
just for the city, you heard? Yeah. And guess y'all see my girl here. Don't be acting all shy. Cause we come like a long way. Look, y'all see, we got all legends in here. And we here to do the work of New Orleans. And see, thank you for supporting our
Bro, I appreciate y'all letting me work out here.
just for the city, you heard? We here. And guess y'all see my girl here. Don't be acting all shy. Cause we come like a long way. Look, y'all see, we got all legends in here. And we here to do.
Look at old P, baby. Yeah. We got Zion, baby, run the thing. He got a 6-pack now. He ain't got a tank. He on the court, hustlers with killers. Get him with them young boys, them old boys is in it. Man, CJ got 1 foot out the lead. The mother player say it's all about me. Gotta get him out, get him off the team. Get some new blood who don't know what it means. They just gonna follow Zion cause he the OG. He gonna be the colonel of this thing like me. Make him say, Zion. Oh man. Yeah, that's what I said. They're not gonna probably win a lot of games. They probably not gonna win a lot of games with the roster they got, but it'll be a showcase of Zion Williamson. A lot more. He'll be bringing the ball up on fast breaks a lot. That's what I'm saying. You gotta have people that you can relate to on a very good basis. Mm-hmm. It's up to you. Like, what is it that you're gonna be doing? You know, what is it that you consider, ideal? What do you consider safe? What do you consider the standards? You know what I mean? Most people don't move like that.
After the first quarter, if I was a teammate, I wouldn't pass you. Hey, you want this ball again, brother? You better rebound. I know, right? You don't let the game come here. Come on, make this a one-on-one game. After the first quarter, if I was a teammate, I wouldn't pass you. Hey, you want this ball again, brother? You better rebound.
That little Laker boy want to take everybody one-on-one. He's going to take everybody one-on-one. That Laker boy, man, he want to take everybody one-on-one. That's cold, man. One-on-one, baby. Let's go. Right now, the whole NBA is supposed to be Zion and Zion Williamson and John Morant. When they teamed up and they was the world stars, they were doing them. They couldn't nobody keep up with them young boys. They were young rookies just running and alley-ooping. In 2020, they was just doing it. In Chicago at the All-Star game. Yeah, they had USA versus the world. Right, you saw Zion and John Morant get loose. I never looked at it that way. You know what? You could be right. But the way I see it is this. I see Zion Williamson as I see him coming up as the new. You know, this is what's new out here. Like he's coming in fresh and new. Well, it's like Friday the 13th movies, right? What was the theme of Friday the 13th? Jason was hunting down who? First it was the mama. Who was the mama hunting down? The mama was hunting down the mama was hunting down counselors, right? Camp counselors. So whenever there was a camp counselor, right, and they go to Camp Crystal Lake, they'll start taking these counselors out one by one. So camp counselor, wop, 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 wop. Take them out. The next time down, camp counselor again, wop, 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 wop. Then it alternates again. Another camp counselor, wop, 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 wop. Every year. So why would they still be going every year to get... I mean, at the part, if this thing happened 2 times in a row, it shouldn't have been a part 3. Who gonna work there to be a camp counselor to keep going there and definitely sending kids there to be watched? They named it Camp Blood. Why? Because every year, about 5, 6 camp counselors get chopped up. But not on my watch. They got the guy. They said that the last 2 times. Then the 3rd time happened. Here they go again. Chop, chop, chop. So that's what I'm saying. So here it is. It's been 7 years. This is going to be the 7th year of Zion. Right? So they want to see what's going to change. Yeah, I would love to one day. I know people are so caught in their own lives. I know, right? Well, let me get out of here and get to work, man. Go join my Patreon if you haven't, which is Carcino for Life. We're going to talk more about this, and we got a lot more coming up. So, I'm out. Oh, you like the PlayStation shirt? Yeah, I put it on backwards. This is supposed to be the back side, but I like the back side better.